The term sexuality can have many meanings. In one medical dictionary, sexuality is defined as 1. The sum of the physical, functional, and psychological attributes that are expressed by one's gender identity and sexual behavior, whether or not related to the sex organs or to procreation. And 2. The genital characteristics that distinguish male from female. We want to try to shy away from using the second definition, in which sexuality is defined more dichotomously, meaning splitting up sexuality based on either having male or female genitalia. By defining sexuality in this way, it can lead to the disacknowledgement of sexualities other than what we are used to seeing in society, aka heterosexuality, which is defined as a person whose sexual desire or preference is for people of the opposite sex. We cannot dichotomously use the biological sex organs, either female vagina or male penis, to define the sexual orientation that one identifies as. Instead, we will be defining sexuality as a person's exploration of sexual acts, sexual orientation, sexual pleasure, and desire. The term sexuality is often used to encompass sexual identity, sexual behavior, and sexual attraction. In other words, how one identifies themselves, how they act because of their sexual identification, and who they are attracted to. The development of these three defining factors of sexuality allows one to really identify their sexuality in a personal way which satisfies their own beliefs in physical and emotional ways. To further study sexual identity specifically, let's take a look at some more terms. Do you know what the letters LGBTQ stand for? Don't worry if you do not. This is not something we have learned in school previously. LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. This is probably the most common abbreviation you may hear to describe additional sexualities. There are also more updated abbreviations that are being used more and more today, like LGBTQIA+, which includes even more types of sexualities like intersex, agender, asexual, and ally community, or LGBTTSQI, which further includes the two-spirit community. As you can tell, there are an infinite number of sexual identities that one could express, and there are most likely some in which have not even been defined yet. People may be attracted to others of any sexuality or not be attracted to anyone at all. Some describe sexual identity as a spectrum in which you can fall anywhere on to define your own. You can find specific definitions of these sexuality types at transacademics.org, but for now, let's discuss why knowing this information is so important. Did you know that 4 in 10 LGBT youth say the community in which they live is not accepting of LGBT people? This is the very fact that we want to eliminate. According to the Human Rights Council, today's LGBTQ youth face a variety of stressors, including harassment, family and peer rejection, bullying from their peers, and isolation and lack of sense of belonging. These have a major impact on their overall well-being. Does this seem unfair to you? Well, it should. The first step in trying to eliminate these negative aspects of non-heterosexualities comes with the knowledge to create communities in which are inclusive to any sexuality one may identify as. So as a society, let's stop thinking of non-heterosexuality behaviors as a problem, but rather accept them as we can change society for the better. Resistance to this disparity between a heteronormative society and acceptance of LGBTQ individuals has been a progressive process. However, we need to keep working through it. In 1970, Charles Brydon founded the Dorian Group, which was a gay civil rights organization. Brydon stated, "Sex and sexuality are privacy matters in our society. No one, least of all the state, has the right to ask what you and I would do in bed. We are responsible, warm, loving human beings. That is all anyone needs to know." The Triangle Project originated through another organization which was established in 1981 by a small group of gay men. In 1996, the Triangle Project established the first gay and lesbian health project in a Black African township in Cape Town. Today, the Triangle Project is one of the largest LGBTQ organizations in South Africa, offering a wide range of services to a diverse and growing community. The Triangle Project's vision for society is the development of a non-discriminatory society where organizations such as Triangle Project are a choice and not a necessity. Moving towards contemporary resistance, it is important to recognize the inclusion of LGBTQ and provide support. As the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has stated, compared to the 20th century, in the 21st century, youth started realizing and disclosing a minority sexual orientation and/or identifying as lesbian, gay, or bisexual at younger ages than in previous generations. Furthermore, it is crucial to continue learning about LGBTQ topics, allowing individuals to be comfortable with the ways in which they want to identify their sexuality, or in some cases, not identify it, and further support peers. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration also wrote on this topic, stating, "Reducing the discrimination and negative social attitudes that many LGBTQ children and adolescents experience can improve health outcomes." As we learned earlier, negative social attitudes are stressors that can result in poor mental health. Working with different communities to increase acceptance and change cultural norms that are unsupportive of sexual and gender minority identities is one way to improve health and the well-being overall. So how exactly can you help? The Human Rights Campaign has many great resources for providing support to LGBTQ youth. 5 things they state that you can do today include listen to LGBTQ youth, be a role model for kindness and inclusion, show young people and peers that they can be authentic around you, take action at the local level to create safe spaces, and stay informed and get ahead in fights ahead. By taking actions like these, we see a great shift in the emotional state of LGBTQ individuals. Blake is a 20-year-old male from Michigan who identifies as gay or homosexual. He shares his thoughts about coming out as stated. All in all, my quality of life has improved immensely since coming out. Not only do I not have to experience the depressing burden of keeping a big part of myself hidden, I create relationships with people now that are so much richer and deeper because I'm my authentic self. And even relationships and friendships that existed prior to coming out are even stronger because this huge guard is not up anymore. Reginald, another 20-year-old from the state of Michigan, comments on how coming out as a gay cis male and accepting his sexuality has improved his quality of life.
Without a doubt, I think my life is 1,000 times different. I'm not gonna say my life was not bad before. Like I wasn't suffering. I wasn't like, oh my god, no. Like it was very like I felt very comfortable in my sexuality and who I was. But as far as like accepting my blackness and my sexuality and understanding the sexuality of others and my style adapting, just like what I write about, like everything has really just changed in that way, and in the way that it would eventually progress to, regardless. But it, without a doubt, my life has continued to get better, and well, has gotten better with like being comfortable. But like it is continuing to get better every day. I like get more and more comfortable within myself and who I am.